Welcome to You Ain't Got the Blues private lesson. I'm trying something different this year. My name's Mike Gomez. If you're watching and you don't know me, my nickname is the DMG. Long time ago, I drove across the country to a show that almost didn't exist, and nobody knew who I was. And I thought, we booked a show, and I sent you all this stuff. Like, what happened? And then somebody goes, "Oh, you're the drummer, Mike Gomez." And it was born. So yeah, I'm super glad to be here with you guys. I live in San Antonio, Texas. Check out my band, Lucas Jack. We're a signed rock band. I don't usually talk about it, but I feel like I would be remiss in doing my students a disservice to not share that aspect of what a future in music could look like. 42, I'll be 43 next week. July, babies, let me hear you. And I know cancer, full cancer. Yeah, and I dedicated my life to this. And, you know, the band, we have designed our lives to work around it, and we're still trying to break the band. And we think we have the best shot we've ever had. So, Lucas Jack Music on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere, and the band is Lucas Jack. You can find us on Spotify and Tidal and wherever else you listen to music. Check out dmgpip.com. That's my website, too. All right, let's get it going. You Ain't Got the Blues. This is a 12/8 feel. Okay, it says gospel 12/8 feel. Why on earth would it say 12/8 feel, but then you see 4/4? It's the same if you haven't figured it out. You know, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly. That's 12/8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, right? It's 12. So it's just like playing that big feel. This is a real laid back tune. The band is killing. The band breathes a little bit towards the back half of this cut. That is not a dig. I'm in a lot of big bands. We don't, we just play, and nobody rushes like crazy. Nobody drags. It's music, man. It just breathes. Okay. And I bet you won't even notice it. So why am I talking about it? Well, if you have your mentality to play this tune, you're like, 1, 2, here I go. It's me. 1, this is never going to move. This is perfect. That's what they started me on. That's where I am. You're going to find yourself rubbing. Okay, so what do? How do you fix it? How do you approach it? Well, you use your ears. Listen to the bass, okay? Just like you would do in a live situation. You listen to the bass. The bass and drums are the absolute backbone, okay? People say, oh, the drummers, the bass players. No. Both together. One without the other. It's not the same. When you got a deadlocked bass player and drummer, that's the backbone and the heartbeat. Then listen to your comping players, like your keyboard instruments, your organs, your pianos, or your guitar, your harmonic instruments with strings. Okay, so listen to the bass, lock in, and you will move with the band, because that's what they were doing. Crazy, right? So, and again, not a dig. Band, killing. Man, I wish I could have been on this date. Y'all, I'm right here. So let's talk about it. So the first 2 lines is obviously the intro. If you haven't at least written that, take your pencil and write it. I can't stand when you guys have been playing this stuff for months now and you bring me blank music. I'm like, you can leave nothing to your memory, okay, as a pro musician. Write it down. It will commit to memory later, okay? Don't just go, yeah, I got it. So that's the intro. First, all right, 2 lines. Letter A. Hi-hat, sloshy swing. This is the A section. It does happen to be marked A, but it is the A section. Okay, mark in, if you haven't figured it out yet, at measure 16, write stop time in. That's what we call stop time. If you've never heard of it, I'm glad you're here. I'll demonstrate that. It's very common in jazz music. All right, so then you get through the stop time, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then you're at measure 20, and you just write time. Just your job is to play time there. Okay, letter B, write in switch cymbal. It's never a bad idea to switch cymbals at a bridge or maybe a different musical section. You'll switch the timbre and the color, right? Timbre is like the actual definition of what that sounds like. Why a cymbal sounds different from a bird chirping because it's a different timbre. Or why this cymbal sounds different from that. It's a timbre change. They're both cymbals, but they sound different, okay? So a timbre change is always worth exploring when you have a bridge or a new section. But you don't need to be switching every time, okay? You need to let one ride for a while, okay? Nobody wants to hear that going back and forth. All right, your job at letter B is to lock dead in. Notice that you have the bass to listen to, and then the trumpets, da-da-da, da-boom, da-da-da. Right here, check it out. Da-da-yum, da-da-da. Da da. That's a cymbal pattern. So you should lock directly. Da da da, da da da, da da. Lock that directly with the right hand, or you're doing it wrong. Okay. The bottom line at measure 33 and 34, you will have seen me play fills through 33 and 34 in one take, and you will have seen me play time in one take. If it's crystal clear, there's passion, direction, intention, it might stick. I think it would stick. It'd be a conversation I would have with the band leader or the engineer on the session, the producer on the session. I don't really care. I don't have to play fills at 33 and 34, which is why I also played time there. They both work to me. The fills are a little bit busier. However, if you kind of set up lightly fill through 33 and 34, it lends that energy into what happens with the tutti figures at 35. Bum, yada. Go, go, ga. Actually, it's da, da, da. I think it goes down. All right, so that's a lot of that. So hopefully it at least gives you an idea of like my logic, my thought process, how I make decisions, right? Which is probably somewhere where you find yourself. You're like, man, I don't know what to play there. I mean, I can play two things. Which one should I do? Teacher, tell me, you know. All right, so let's play through this a little bit. Make sure that you're only crashing on two and at measure 3 and 4. I have a lot of students crashing all over the intro, and you don't need a whole lot of crashes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Ba-da-dee-da-da, 1 lolly, 2 and triple at 2 and 1, 2, 3 and lay back. Count and 3 and 4 and 1. Ba ba. I'm probably off tempo. Ba da. It's all good. Ba 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 ha. Write those figures in. They're there. Ba da. Dwee da. Listen for the bass here. It walks. Boom ba beep ba ba 1. Light fill. Stop. Time. 3. Fill. Ya da. Ba ba It's 2 and the organ. 1 and 2 and ba ba did ba. Oh, so hard. Bum 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 ba. 4 and 2 la late 3. Send it. 3 la la da 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 Leela, right? Leela wa ba 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 boom ba trombones ba da da. Keep playing time there. Da 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 ba da da ba 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 boom ba. Here's where I fell to trombone da ba ba da ba. Ba 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 ya ba ba. Oh oh ah. And I notice the timpani playing. Without it, with it. Going back to the Thomas. Nah, don't worry about that. All right, so that's me singing. By the way, you've noticed if you've seen the other videos, well, I guess if you've seen Reunion, I'm singing the song. If you can't recall the song, you're not doing one thing right, you know. Recall is a big word in my studio. If you can't recall the tune, do you really know it? You know what I mean? Like, or how much of it do you really know? I mean, like, when I play for an artist or I play a Sunday morning somewhere, I mean, I come in and I can, like, I know what the guitar is doing. I know everybody's parts. I can sing the tune. I know I'm playing. Can you play some cymbals? Yeah, like, I'm singing the exact rhythm that the vocalist is doing. So, if you can't sing the song, make sure you can do it. Then make sure you can do it while you play. Okay, it'll really inform. You're like, oh, bum, bum, bum. Why am I playing ba, 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 bum? I'm saying bum to short, right? You'll start to hopefully connect some dots there. All right, let's talk about the intro. Just obviously the fill. You can notice the videos. You'll see me go 1, 2, lolly, 3, lolly, 4, lolly, or 1, 2, right? I mean, either voicing is cool. Find one that speaks to you. At measure 3, 1, 2, 3, ba-da, one lolly, 2, and make sure you play triplet on 1 lolly at measure 3 and 1 lolly at measure 4. And you want to fill in through there, okay? Not you play the drums and your fill. Don't be hitting cymbals like crazy. 1, 2, red da 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 da. 1 lolly, 2 and lolly, 4 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 and lolly, 4 lolly, 1, 2, 3 and I choose to close that there so I can really emphasize that. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 2, 3, lolly, 4 lolly, and you better be subdividing there like I am. Maybe on one of the videos I play 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4, or 5, something like that. 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4 lolly. And that's play a cymbal, there's no crash there. All right, moving into letter A. I like playing quarters on the hat. I think it feels really good. You can play time. Measure 10, you don't have to play those figures there that very first time. And here's why. You just got 8 beats of time, right? We just finished the intro, right? And we're at letter A. So letter A. Da da dum ba ba da da 3. Okay, now stop the time and do something else. Not illegal. Totally fine. Here's another example. Da da 4 ba da dwee da That's you just started that, so to get away from timekeeping, it feels a certain way to me. Does somebody else think differently? Sure. Are they wrong? No way. You know, if you play it right, if it feels right, if it doesn't feel right, we know it, right? Like there's no hiding from a wrong part or a wrong choice. But the important thing is to just discover that that was wrong, or it wasn't quite right. Let's just say it wasn't quite right. There's probably something else on the table. And that the problem isn't you, right? It's just that you're exploring things and you made a wrong decision, or you tried something that, you're like, maybe less salt next time, more sugar. So, all right. So if we go to A, it's going to be the same thing, keeping time. I'll sing us in, and we're going to go to the stop time at 16. 1, 2, 3, letter A. Ba-da, ba-dwee-da, and 2 and wipe those hits. Get that knock. And 2 and ba ba ba. Ba-da, walk and walk and walk and walk. 1 and 2 and fill. Fill to the stop time. Da ba 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 2 and 1, 2 and ba-da bwee ba ba da. But to walk and build the tension up, push the 2 lolly, get up. Leela 1 and 2 3. The energy comes up a little there, okay? So you have permission to play out there on those 2 rooftops. At 24, 1, 2, 3, loudest section of the song so far, right? All right, so the stop time. Look at stop time. Hope you wrote that down, because if you didn't, now you're like, oh, where is it? All right, measure 16. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2, 3. Here, I go from the floor tom. I decide to go, You can play it on the floor tom. Stop time, measure 16. 3, 4, Two and Listen for that organ there. And they lay those way back. They're so hip. I don't do that often. What I mean is I don't go, stop time through these hits because it's like, it seems like something needed to change already. I just feel like 16, 2, 3, change it up, or a mixture of 16, 1, you know, maybe like sort of a combination moving around the instrument, fill, setup. It's so laid back, it's hard to feel it like a setup. But again, I'm trying to play drums in a musical way that when I hear it, I go, I don't hate that. You know, some things I play, I'm like, yeah, that's not it. I don't know if I hate it, but it's like, it's really not it. So you got to keep digging. It's a mine. You got to go get it. All right, letter D. You can play bum ba doom 3 4 1 da 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 ya da boo ba, or you can throw a rim knock in. Ba, so one before beat. Ba ba. Lee la 1 and 2 3 ba da. I guess. So that's what it sounds like with the rim knock on 4. Rim knock on 2. Ba. Bop, Lee la 1 and 2 3 So what does it sound like if we play what I like to call conga time, but some cats call the organ groove? So coming into B, bop, bop, Lee la 1 2 3 and 2 3 bop, ba ba da. Ba 2 da 2. Cool. So that's an option 2. Okay. So choose one that you think fits, and then make sure you're listening to the bass and locking into the horns. The trumpet does have kind of the melody there, but the trombones sneak around, lolly 2, lolly 3. They kind of come in and out, and so make sure that you're feeling all of that music together. All right, bottom line here, as I mentioned earlier, you know, I filled at 33 and 34 because I felt like the energy of filling or kind of setting up lightly connected nicely with the tutti figure at 35, especially because it's the end of the cut, right? Like kind of like an easy rising climax without just like crazy energy. Playing time through there is cool. Maybe somewhere in between just straight time with a rim knock and maybe a little bit of a setup. So here's the bottom line, measure 33. Here we go. 2 7 ba bo ba bum ba da bum we ya bum bum Cool. So that's just kind of time through there. One more time. Here we go. 1, bottom line. 3, ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. I noticed I kind of hammed it up. Kind of laid it back, straightened it out. A little bit of style there. So yeah, you know, from B out, it doesn't need to get really too energetic on the bottom line. Here's one time through B, and then for lolly 1 2 B Here's the organ groove. Ba 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 boo ba ba da ba. Somebody plays their bone. Be listening to the band. Yeah, dude. Want da 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 da. More time. Little setup there. Energy. And that fill was extra notes. So a couple ways to thicken up the voicing by playing kick drum under stuff. Cool. That pretty much completes this tune. This is probably, I would say, one of the easier parts of the process this year, and it's by no means easy, but the lift is not as heavy compared to Reunion with the figures and especially the shuffle. It's a little brighter tempo, and then just being able to stylistically play the shuffle. And then, of course, I think what's going to make or break the contest for sure every year now is the track list chart, right? So the etude also waltzes. So this is by no means totally easy, but if you find yourself playing You Ain't Got the Blues and it's in a good place, then make sure that you schedule your time, smartly so that you are investing your time in the more difficult aspects where you need to do some cleaning. So, hey guys, don't go yet. I hope you stopped. Before you go, like and subscribe. My name's Mike Gomez. If you like what I'm up to, definitely stay in the loop. You can find me on Instagram at the DMG. That's I'm always on Instagram. Check out my band, Lucas Jack. We're Lucas Jack Music. I think you'll dig it. And if you're thinking about studying music in college, consider St. Mary's University. I'm an adjunct professor of drum set at St. Mary's University. So, maybe consider taking an audition or doing a campus visit so you can kind of see what life might be like for you as you continue your musical journey at the collegiate level with us in San Antonio. All right, you guys from San Antonio, we're just sending big love to the world. So it's a DMG signing off. You guys, thanks for spending some time with me. And if you're still here, appreciate it. Peace.